Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about The Witcher Season 2 because we actually sat through it.
We did.
And it was kind of a chore, gonna be honest.
I'll tell you what, towards the end, I was like, is this over yet? I gotta tell you. And I wasn't like that the first season, but I kind of was the second.
Yeah, the second season felt off. I don't know. It wasn't nearly as good as the first season. Now, there is some fan backlash over Season 2. A lot of it has to do with changes, but I think it's also the quality of Season 2 is just not there compared to the first season, objectively. Now, I want to disclaim this with the fact that neither one of us read the books.
Right.
So
that's about thing to mention.
Yeah. So people are going to look at it like, yeah, no, in the books is, oh yeah, we haven't read the books. We watched the show. I've seen Squid King play some of the game. Mm-hmm. So I had some familiarity with Witcher and Witcher lore, but definitely not super fans. So we were normies, I guess, going into it. The first season I thought was very, very good. I loved it. I looked forward every night. We were watching it.
Season 2 isn't bad. It's just not as good as Season 1. And it seemed confusing. And towards the end, I was like, okay, I'm just getting to the place where I'm like, yeah, we know. Can we just move on?
Yeah, I didn't really care for it. I'll be honest. I mean, there were parts that it felt like it was like a 3-episode arc that they stretched out over 8 episodes.
Yeah, kind of.
And when you read into it, it does seem like they changed a lot of things, a lot of plot points, major plot points, which, I mean, it does happen when you adapt stuff. But I get the vibe in some cases that some of those plot points were there because of the budget.
Could be, yeah.
Now, there are spoilers in this video, so if you haven't watched it yet and you want to watch it, you might want to tune out. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 247,000 subs.
Woo!
Almost 248.
You keep saying that.
We're like 20 away.
It's like funny. It's like as soon as you get close, then they suddenly start like, oh, we got to make sure these are all real.
Yeah, YouTube audits in real time now, which is why they do their numbers in increments of 100 or 1,000. It used to be you'd see it in real time go up and down, but now they audit as they go. So whatever, but hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. Hoping for 250 by the end of the year.
Yay!
Yeah, so this article was put out there on CBR. Witcher fans love Season 1, but they're slamming Season 2. Now, again, not being a fan of the books, I thought Season 1, just quality-wise, was considerably better.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are upset because it deviated very, very much so from the books. Now, I do want to point out, here's the thing. It's like a no-win situation. Because we had, Cowboy Bebop, and people were pissed because it was too far removed, or it was too close. Yeah. People were complaining. They were too close to the books, or too far removed. But most people were complaining because it was like, or the show. People were complaining. It was like, it was like the show just beat for beat the show, and that was a problem. And then, with The Witcher, they tried to deviate from the books. And now people are pissed because it deviated from the books. So you really can't win.
Yeah, now the critics loved it. There was a lot of...
Ooh, I didn't know the audience score was that low.
Yeah, the audience score is not good. It's not good. So anyway, this is coming from CBR. After premiering on Netflix in December 2019, The Witcher became an instant hit, introducing audiences to a new fantasy world, yada yada. Where Season 1 failed to impress critics and swept audiences away, the recently released second season appears to have had the opposite effect.
I don't understand what the critics watched that we didn't.
The critics probably loved it because, yay, women power.
But there was Yay Women Power in the first one.
There was.
That's what I'm like, that's the same thing.
I don't know. Season 2 of The Witcher is being slammed by fans, some of which are newcomers who have had time to catch up on the franchise over the past 2 years. Criticism is generally aimed at the writing and perceived inconsistencies as well as its deviation from the source material.
I think it just felt, like you said, it was like 3 or 4 episodes and they just drug it out. It felt like, is this going to end? It's kind of painful. Can we just wrap this up now?
It kind of felt like a side quest.
And even Henry Cavill couldn't make it better.
I know, right? Why couldn't Henry Cavill make it better? I mean, the first one was interesting because the way that, there was a time jump and everything kind of came together. Mm-hmm. I like that. And I understand they weren't going to do that for the second season, but it was, I personally thought it was boring as fuck.
It was confusing too, I thought. There was a lot of things about it that made it confusing.
On Rotten Tomatoes, Season 2 of The Witcher possesses an audience score of 63% and a critical score of 94%. Season 1 has a 91% audience score and a 68% critical score. Essentially, where critics found the series to be lackluster in Season 1, they praised the many improvements.
What improvements?
In Season 2. Audiences, on the other hand, found the state of the series to be the other way around. It's worth noting that with Season 1, much of the criticism compared The Witcher to Game of Thrones.
Here's the thing. I would almost always take audience score over critic score. I mean, when it comes to these movies and shows, even if I don't agree with the critic or the audience score, I will give the audience score more of a look than the critic score.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of, I mean, I kind of figured this was going to happen because they sort of set the tone before the show started that like, well, we're going to make this for modern audiences. And, people were pleasantly surprised other than some race swapping. They didn't really gut the source material, but season 2, I guess, has a lot of changes from the books. And again, disclaimer, haven't read the books. People are going to be like, well, go read the books. And be like,
we don't have time to read the books.
Don't have time to read the books.
We can read the books or we can write books and make content. We can't do both.
Yeah, we had to carve out time to watch this show. And it was kind of like, we knew it was like, for us, it was must-see TV, but it's like, wow, that was a waste of time.
We watched the last episode last night, and I even said to you, I was like, I just kind of like to the place where I wish it would just finish already.
Yeah.
And then the big shocker at the end, I saw coming, and it annoys me because I usually see this stuff coming.
Yeah. So again, this is a normie take on it, just as fans of fantasy and science fiction. I thought the second season was a dud compared to the first season. One of the biggest problems I had actually was Yennefer with her powers. I'm like, did they do this just to cheap out on the effects?
I'll tell you what, I can't stand Yennefer in general.
She's annoying as hell.
I've not, the whole way through, I found her, I just don't like her. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Yeah, she is, I mean, I get that she's kind of devious, but I don't remember her in the game being as annoying as the actress that plays her. She just is like this kid sister you just want to beat the shit out of.
I don't know, she's just annoying to me.
Takes your shit and breaks it.
I think the actress that plays Ciri is really good, though.
Yeah, the actress that plays Ciri is actually very good. There were some other actors too that were pretty decent, but yeah, it just felt like they had more monsters, but the whole thing felt more like low rent than the first season. It just felt like they were in the same 3 or 4 locations, throughout, and it felt like I don't know if that was a COVID thing or like a budget thing or what, but then. At the end of it, so after it's over, they have a teaser for the spinoff.
I was going to say, then they have all these spinoffs coming, which kind of just seems like it's not as special now.
No, because now it's like, oh, the Witcher cinematic universe. And the spinoff, I got to tell you, from the trailer, it looks like a bunch of LARPers in a field. Like somebody went into somebody else's backyard and they just started LARPing and they filmed it, and that's the Witcher prequel.
Now, the animated one looks better than that.
It did. It actually did look pretty good. Yeah.
Now, I am still angry about season 2, in the fact that I did not think that Roach deserved what Roach got.
Oh, poor Roach.
I am so mad about that. You don't understand.
Yeah, we don't like horse death, dog death,
nope.
Mouse death. I expected mice to get squished. I mean, she's totally okay if somebody gets their face, blown off or something, but...
I'm sorry. It's just like, oh, that poor Hank. He's like, it's a monster. I don't care. It's horrible.
Anyway, they said, yeah, it's adapted from The Blood of Elves, as well as one story from The Last Wish and elements of Time of Contempt. It's worth noting that the live-action adaptation does forego certain storylines and introduces entirely new characters and plots. I guess the bad guys are completely made up. The trans-dimensional bad guys.
I get trying... Okay, here's the thing. I see both sides of this, and I get them trying to do some new things because they're like, okay, we're doing an adaptation for Netflix. We need to add something new. Because otherwise it's going to be the same criticism that you get with other things. That it's too close to the book or too close to the game or show or whatever. And then when you have other people like Cowboy Bebop try to do it, copy it closer, then they get in trouble for not being original enough. So it really is a no-win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
I just felt again, as normies coming into it, not being that familiar with the source material, that I was bored as hell. Yeah, I thought it was just us.
Towards the end, I was really like, oh my gosh, is this over yet?
I'm like, is it just us, or was this, because we hadn't watched any reviews on it, we hadn't really read any reviews on it. We're just like, oh, Witcher 2, we're gonna start watching it. Didn't know what other people were saying about it, and just as normies watching the show who liked season 1, season 2, I thought was dog shit.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, it wasn't the worst thing ever, but it was nowhere near what the first season was.
It wasn't as good as the first season, no. But I wouldn't say it was dog shit either. But
dragon shit.
Hey, the bard's always fun.
Magical. He wasn't even as fun. He was fun in play. Yeah.
He was better in the first season, or first one too. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It just got like. Come on already. Is this over yet?
Yeah.
Get to the point.
So the showrunner's like, I found that book hard to adapt. So Let's add some more monsters and storylines. It's already confusing as fuck. Let's make it more confusing. Yeah, so I guess Yennefer's power loss that wasn't in the book, because that to me felt like they're just doing this so they can cheap out on the special effects, because they blew the budget on the monsters.
Yeah, they haven't done hardly any magic in this one.
Yeah,
fire
fucker.
And
is that his name? Fire
fucker.
fucker.
But I'm just like, and then at least she had her clothes on for most of she had her clothes on this time.
That's why the critics liked it.
I mean, yeah, last season she didn't wear clothes a lot. Or she, had her, a lot. It was a lot steamier last season.
Just all the way around.
I mean, in general, yeah.
We had a room full of horrors, which I guess that didn't happen either. There are a lot of things that changed, but I guess a lot, the big complaint too is the one character, Eskel, got killed, and I guess he's a major character in the books, and they like freaking off him. He shows up, he brings some horrors with him, he gets infected by a tree monster, and then he dies, and that's basically it. Felicia Day. Oh, was this on Nerdist?
Felicia Day. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. I can't stand Felicia Day. I know a lot of people who like her, and if you do, that's cool. She annoys the hell out of me. So whatever.
So this is interesting. Yeah, she even asked, like, why did you kill him? She said, "Can you explain?" This is to the showrunner. "Can you explain your decision to kill him off so soon? Because people want to know." In all honesty, showrunner Lauren Schmidt Hissrich replies, "The very first version of the script we wrote was a brand new Witcher that we'd never met before, we'd never heard of, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, our audience is going to meet Cohen, Lambert, and Eskel, and John, who's going to die? John's going to die. So we thought out really hard. I know there are fans who love Eskel and feel like, why would we do that? But honestly, his death is what changes everything for Geralt, and I think it propels the need to figure out what's going on, blah, 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 blah." That's it?
Yeah, apparently.
Fan favorite character, just fucking kill him off?
Yeah, because,
Yeah,
it's a pivotal moment, so it's okay. I don't know. I just think what's going on is it's gonna make some people really happy and some people aren't gonna be happy, and it's a fine tightrope to walk. I don't even know what to tell you as a solution, because I think it depends on the franchise and the fan base.
I think, Witcher has a very passionate fan base, and I think this is an indicator of things to come. I think this is going to go down like Game of Thrones, where it starts off good, and then once they start deviating from the source material...
Of course they're going to deviate from the source material. They want to put their own personal rinse on it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, oh, we got you hooked. Okay, cool. Now we're going to switch everything up.
Now we're going to shove all our stuff in there.
They'll kill Geralt off in the next season.
I doubt that highly.
And Ciri will be the Witcher. She'll take over.
Well, I don't know. The way they're acting.
They can't afford Henry Cavill.
I say no, but I'm like, you know what?
They can't afford Henry Cavill.
He wants to go do, the other one. Was it Red Redemption?
Oh, Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, that's it.
Another video game thing.
I don't really know.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
So there we go, guys. Not that great. Talk to you later.
Yep, bye.